Former President Donald Trump. A federal grand jury has now criminally indicted the former president out of the special counsel's investigation into his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. The 45-page indictment begins by saying the former president lost the 2020 election, knew he lost, and then for months spread lies that there had been outcome-determinative fraud in the election and that he had actually won it. The indictment charges Trump with 4 counts: conspiracy to defraud the U.S., conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction, an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. The indictment laying out a detailed timeline and state-by-state efforts to appoint illegal electors and influence local officials to change the outcome in their states. And it also lists 6 unnamed co-conspirators. The indictment alleges Trump attempted to enlist Vice President Mike Pence to obstruct the certification of the election results, and that the violent attack on the Capitol on January 6th was fueled by lies, and as you heard Jack Smith say right here moments ago, lies by the defendant. Special counsel Jack Smith making that rare appearance before the cameras, calling the attack on our nation's Capitol on January 6th an unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. The former president has been asked to appear in federal court Thursday at 4 p.m. to be arraigned on these charges. Our team standing by, including our reporter who just talked with the former president. His reaction here in a moment. But we begin with our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, tonight.
Tonight, Donald Trump, former president of the United States, indicted for allegedly trying to subvert democracy and overturn the will of American voters in the 2020 election because he was determined to remain in power.
Today, an indictment was unsealed, charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding.
Trump informed of the sweeping indictment just before it was unsealed. The charges outlined in the sweeping indictment. Prosecutors say Trump spread lies that there had been outcome-determinative fraud in the election and that he had actually won. These claims were false, and the defendant knew they were false. Still, they say Trump worked to create an intense national atmosphere of mistrust and anger and erode public faith in the administration of the election. The indictment going methodically, state by state, accusing Trump and his unnamed co-conspirators of creating fraudulent slates of electors in 7 states, of trying to compel the Justice Department to sham election crime investigations, of pressuring Vice President Mike Pence to reject legitimate electoral votes on January 6th, and ultimately sending his supporters to the Capitol to obstruct the certification proceeding and exert pressure on the vice president.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol and we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Smith's indictment documenting dozens of Trump's alleged lies and the pressure he put on Republican state officials. In a phone call, Trump pushing Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find the votes he needed.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
Prosecutors allege Trump's criminal scheme culminated on January 6th with what they called the president's exploitation of the violence and chaos at the Capitol.